Looks like we are live.
Hey everybody, it's Will Middleton and Kurt Von Onen from LifterLMS. We'll be live here for the next hour answering any questions you have about LifterLMS, WordPress, and getting started in the community. We're going to be just partying it up, going through YouTube, going through Facebook, going through questions we've received in the last week, and letting you know some common FAQs and some great getting started resources for LifterLMS. If you made the time to join us live, let us know in the chat where you're calling in from, and if you have any questions, and we'll make sure to prioritize the questions from the people who are here live. But yeah, let me pull up a few questions here in the background that we can go ahead and start diving into. But while I do that, Kurt, where are you calling in from, and how are you doing this week?
Well, it has been a heck of a week, my friend, and we did our calls. We didn't do our calls last week. I tuned in from the road because I was driving to California last Thursday when you and Chris were doing this, and so I drove from Kansas to California Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday I kind of hung out, saw some friends, and then Saturday and Sunday we drove back from California back to Kansas, and it's unique. Apparently, the human body can adjust really quickly, because when I got out of the truck in California and it was 50 degrees and sunny, I was hot. I was like, oh man, is it hot? But I picked up my daughter. We moved back to Kansas, and we're just here to do it. Now, I drove over 3,000 miles in 4 days, so I was a little tired when I got back to Kansas. But I've rebounded well. We've made some sales as an agency, and I've seen that there's been an uptick with some lifter stuff and Help Scout being productive. So, dude, it looks like we're banging on all cylinders lately. It's been fun.
Absolutely. And I've still been down here in Georgia, just attending WordCamp Atlanta group stuff, or so I guess just WordPress Atlanta user meetups. I've been going to WordPress calls a lot. There's like a lot of WordPress help desk resources that are really good for beginners to promote. I'll promote these as well. Is if you're new to WordPress in general, some of the people who come in the LifterLMS community are already familiar with WordPress. They're already familiar with WooCommerce. They're already familiar with the block editor. They're already familiar with Elementor. They already know the ropes of WordPress. But some of the users coming in the community are not yet familiar with WordPress. They're coming into Lifter maybe as a competitor to Teachable or Kajabi, and they haven't even built a WordPress website maybe in the last 10 years, last 5 years, and a lot of things have changed. So check out meetup.com. It's a great place to find some WordPress user groups that meet virtually and have like help desks and all kinds of things like seminars and webinars, a lot of free stuff going on. There's one on Monday about PCI compliance, because there's a new regulation coming in if you accept credit cards online about policies you need to have on your website and stuff like that. So there's all kinds of industry events going on and WordPress help desk kind of thing. So if you're new to WordPress, I recommend those highly. But we did have a question on Facebook here on the groups thing. Is there a way for me to put members into it without them getting an email? I'd like to give center directors a way of monitoring progress of their staff and members, but staff members are already in the course, and I don't want them to get another email that'll confuse them. It's a good question. If I pull up my demo site, we can see what notifications there are.
I don't want to oversimplify things, Will, but if they're using LifterLMS groups and they add the center directors as group leaders, those group leaders can look at the member list and check the status of any student in the group.
Yeah, I think the problem is when she triggers the enrollment in the group, it's going to email all 25 students or whoever she puts into it and say, hey, you're in the group now. And I think that's what they might be trying to avoid, is that one-time email. And I'm just going to the integration settings here on my demo site, and I can share my screen as well. I realized one reason my computer was slow is because I was using ad blocker and YouTube, and they break your CPU if you do that. So that was my problem last week.
You mean Google's not completely fair when they give you access to the internet?
Exactly. So going into LifterLMS groups, these are the general settings, but I guess I need to go over to notifications to see what kind of options we have here. Cancellation notice. Is there any? I don't think there are any dedicated notifications for groups, but there is an invite email that goes out to users when they get into a group. So I just want to make sure. And I'd have to test this too. I could install maybe an email log plugin on my website and find out the answer to this for sure. But edit members, edit seats. And so for anyone new to LifterLMS, LifterLMS groups is a way that you can create organizations within your LMS website. And we call it groups, but you could use it for schools. You could use it for, in this question, we have sounds like a community center organization kind of thing. You could sell to other businesses. You can change the name group to whatever you want, but the basic functionalities here are that you can assign a group leader, and that group leader can enroll students into a course or membership, whatever's associated with the group. In this case, we have a college planning course on the website that's associated with the group, and then we have 100 seats. So as a website admin, I can enroll people in the group, but also, or I can invite people to enroll in the group, and the group leader can also invite people to enroll in the group. So if someone comes to you from another organization and they want to buy 100 seats in your course on behalf of the people in their organization, they can pay you a check, they can pay you direct bank transfer, whatever you want to sort out for that payment. And then you can create them a group with LifterLMS groups and then enroll them as a group leader, and then they can invite their organization to fill up that group. And so we have the group leader, but I'm thinking the invite link might be the way to go, because I don't think you can, like, if you were to invite a bunch of group members, for example, you could put emails in here and then send invitations to those group members, and then they would click the email, accept the invite, and be in the group. You could also email them an enrollment link like this, but I don't think, I'd have to verify this, but I don't think there's any emails that automatically go out once you enroll in the group. Could be wrong on that, but usually what you would do to add people to the group is just send them the invite link, they click the link, they sign up. But in this case, it sounds like they're already in the course, but then they want a way to manage their staff members. So that might be a little bit of going backwards and manually putting these people in the group as the website admin. And the reason this is a little bit of a complicated process, and it's not just as simple as you're an admin, put the user in the group, is because of privacy regulations around when a member is in a group, their course progress, their name, their date, like all this data about this person is now going to be shown to the group leader. And so it's important that the person whose data is being shared is very explicit that they're the ones who took the action to share their data. And it's not like the website admin decided to share their data with somebody else, who's probably, in this case, the person who's receiving the data is the person who probably already has the data. The leader of the organization already knows who their employees are. They already know their name. They already know all this information about them. But there's just that consideration going on, which is why we can't just put a bunch of users into a group automatically. I'm trying to think. There was an update to this question of on Facebook that I want to pull up here. I figured out the above question, but I certainly have the group. I currently have the group visibility setting open because when I set it to private or closed and log in as one of the group leaders, I have no access to the groups. I tried leaving the default setting open and changing it in the actual group settings. I'm not able to see the group even though I have a profile and I'm logged in as a member of the group. That's a strange scenario. Like when you have your group visibility set to closed or private, it should still display for anyone enrolled in that group. So I'm enrolled here in the Future Scholars Alliance group. If I were to switch my settings to say group visibility, or group visibility, let's change it to closed. Only accessible to members of the group. So this means that other people on the website cannot view the group. It's only going to be accessible to users who are enrolled in that group. And so I should still see this over on my dashboard page. and I can probably switch over to a group leader just to verify that it's working. So here's my Future Scholars Alliance group. So I'm thinking, how would I test this? I guess the way to test what she's mentioning there is to edit my members. We'll invite a group leader to the group. It's going to be the best way to do this. Probably install a quick email log plugin so that I can capture the email that it tries to send as an email invite and then invite one of my users. So we'll do email log. And the reason I'm installing an email log plugin is because I'm using a LifterLMS demo site. You can get a LifterLMS demo site, list.com/try. It has all of our add-ons installed and activated on it, but it cannot send emails. It's a sort of a test environment, just kind of a temporary thing. So it's not configured to send emails and handle all the SMTP stuff. So I'm going to install an email log plugin that's going to capture all my emails on the back end of my website here so that I can see this invite email as it tries to send. We'll send it to will@lifterlms.com and send this person a group invitation. So then on the back end of my website, I should have an email, will@lifterlms.com. Here's your invitation to join a group. So I'm going to need to copy the link. Let's see, zoom in here. This is my invite link, and I can just click accept invitation, but I want to copy this copy link. Okay, and now I'm going to log out. And my group status is set to closed, so only group members will be able to view the group. So welcome to my academy. You've been invited to join the Future Scholars Alliance. Okay, copying is not allowed. That's will@lifterlms.com. This will be my password. Then first name. Just fill this out with test data. And then there we go. So we'll register. Because what she's saying in the group here is that when a leader enrolls, if the visibility is closed, they're not able to see their group, which shouldn't be the case. I'm a group leader now, and I can see the group data. And since I'm a group leader, I have permission to go invite more people. But if I were to be a group member, I would not have permission to go invite a bunch more people. I would just be a member under this organization. And the nice thing is that the group leader can access this reporting feature as well. The page looks almost the same as what I was looking at before, but I'm logged in as a different user. I don't have access to edit plugins. I don't have access to edit themes. The only thing I can do is view and monitor the progress of students throughout the course here. So I'm not sure what she's running into there, because it looks like I have my group status set to closed, and as a leader, I'm still able to access it. But yeah, I guess we could dive into some more questions there if there's a follow-up to that question. But it looks like groups is working fine on my end. That was a bit long, but we got into a little bit of troubleshooting there and testing to see if groups was working there. And Kurt, I think your mic's muted.
Of course it is. I sneezed, so I was nice enough to turn my microphone off for the sneeze, but I didn't turn it back on after the sneeze. I put a couple comments in from Facebook, things that we had gotten. One was an easy one, Will, but it's something that I think a lot of, remember, this is a pre-sales call, so people are new, right? And so it says, hi, newbie question here. It says, will the existing WooCommerce, the free version, conflict with the LifterLMS WooCommerce version? And I just think it's really important to let people know that the LifterLMS WooCommerce that you see listed is that's an integration. So you're going to need the WooCommerce, right? So you need the existing WooCommerce free version. You need that. And then you're going to use the LifterLMS integration to be able to tie it together so that, when you build an access plan in LifterLMS, you're going to be able to connect that access plan directly to a product that you create in WooCommerce. The other thing that I wanted to touch on while we had a moment, though, was that if you're going to have recurring payments, if you're going to have subscriptions in your website, then that means you'd also need the WooCommerce subscriptions add-on that WooCommerce sells. And then
Right.
I see Will biting his lips. He's like, "Do I talk about other versions of subscription tools?" But there are a selection of subscription tools that you could use in lieu of WooCommerce's subscription tool. But just to stick with the basic elements of getting started in WordPress, the simplest thing is WooCommerce subscriptions connect to LifterLMS and its integration. Will, are you frozen? Are you thinking about what I said, or are you just frozen?
Yeah, I'm fine.
He's frozen. Okay, so there you are. I saw your head move. At least you're froze with a smile on your face.
Yeah, I've is my coming through fine?
Nope, you're gone, and your audio is unrecognizable. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe turn the video off for a moment and see if the audio catches up.
Yeah.
Hey, say something.
Can you hear me now?
Kinda. It's fuzzy. But yeah, I just wanted to cover that thing with WooCommerce and WooCommerce subscriptions real quick, and then let you know that, if you are watching this, if you're a new user to LifterLMS or to almost any kind of platform, a lot of times there's going to be the integration tool from the platform, but you also need the base tool to be able to integrate with it. And so it's real important to have access to those types of tools. I can see you bobbing your head, so I think you're back, Will. Thumbs up to you too, sir.
Awesome. Yeah, like Kurt said, WooCommerce is free. LifterLMS is a free plugin, but then if you want to integrate the two and have that buy through WooCommerce and roll through Lifter setup, that's where that integration will come in.
Yeah. And then the next question I put up there it's another newbie question. So it says, "Hi, I'm also a newbie. Delighted to be here and have a question about social networking." Will, I don't even know how to put it into words, man. I have a ton of newbies coming to WordPress like fresh. Like, I just got this. I got a great idea, and I got to get my idea online. I'm going to be a millionaire because Russell Brunson said so, and they instantly go to, I need to have courses, I need to have sales funnels, I need to have mailing lists, and I need to have social plugins. This thing's got to be sticky. I got to get people in and get them addicted, and they got to use. I'm going to have the next Facebook, brother. I'm just going to build the next Facebook, and I caution people with that. I really do. I think that there's a lot of great tools out there, but you can get distracted by the tech and maybe miss approaching your audience or your tribe or whatever it is, organically first. And so when I see that someone's a newbie, but they're asking questions about social, I do get a little cautious. But says here, we have the Universe bundle, and we want to create a site that offers both courses and memberships. Ding, ding, ding. That's LifterLMS in a bucket right there. It says, and has both social networking and forum functionality. We've tried Buddy Boss. And so that to me is like that yellow flag of a question, right? So it says we've tried Buddy Press. We've tried Buddy Press for the social aspect, okay, but not elegant, with BB Press for forum functionality, but the latter crashes the site. Would love to hear about low and no cost. You're trying to build like this wonderfully dynamic, awesome website, and your comment about elegance leads me to think that you instantly took yourself out of budget and free. When you talk about really cool functionality and a sense of elegance coming to the table, you kind of say to yourself, if I want all this stuff, I'm going to pay for Buddy Boss. It almost sounds like that's like you've graduated yourself based on your express needs, that you might be in a Buddy Boss environment. So Buddy Boss is a wonderful social tool. It gives you things like timelines, and it gives you forums, and it gives you messaging. It has its own theme, and the theme is very modern, pretty cool looking. And I really like the way it styles up the courses and the lessons in LifterLMS. So it integrates with LifterLMS really, really, really well. The one caveat in your question is budget or no cost, because Buddy Boss is not a budget or no cost adventure. It is a cost adventure in a way to be nice. But that leads me to another direction, Will, and I'm going to sound a little bit like a salesman for a little bit. There's a part 2 to that question I'll put on screen now, and it says, he's looking for alternatives that are beautiful, offer both social and forum functionality, play nicely with LifterLMS, and don't break the bank. Would love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Will, don't we have a tool called social learning?
Yeah. I think that is a good solution, I think, here to the question. I was pulling up my iPad to lay something out, but I don't have it fully configured yet. But I think when it comes to like low cost and elegant and all this stuff, it's like, I think there's like 3 main factors of like time, cost, and quality when it comes to a project. And you can really only get 2 of these things. You could get a high quality project done at a low cost, but it's going to take a long time to make that happen. And like our use case, user Angela Brown is a perfect example of that. It took years for her to learn all of the ins and outs of all these tools as she implemented them on her website, and she took it one step at a time and learned everything herself and set up all the integrations and stuff. But it took a long time. It was like a multiple year long process, but she got a high quality product at a low cost because she was putting in that work. But then when we talk about we want a high quality product and we want it quickly, that was probably going to be something where it's like, if you want Buddy Boss out of the box, you're going on that higher cost adventure, and you're going to need like hosting to be able to support those functionalities and things like that. And I think I don't really have a context for this business and where we're at with the question of like, how many customers do you have? Are you already operating with 100 customers and $3,000 a month in revenue, or is there already community built up who's asking to engage on your website? Like there's some of those fundamentally important questions to ask when it comes to questions like this. But I think elegance, like Kurt said, would be Skypilot and social learning. That would be probably the cheapest, elegant. Like, I don't know, it's kind of it's still one of the add-ons from LifterLMS. It's like $240 a year before you use one of the coupons you find on the website on it, but I can demo that. Social learning, if I pull up my screen again, we've got groups here, but community. So what LifterLMS social learning would do, and with elegance, that implies like I want it to look a certain way. So this is the LifterLMS Skypilot theme, and it has support and styling for social learning. It creates timelines, and I think that this would be the perfect place to start community discussions. If you're not a fan of BBPress, not a fan of BuddyPress, then this is a great way to integrate with Lifter, where users can go to timelines that are specific to their courses. So I'm in the college planning course on this website, and so I can see the college planning timeline. If I were to go enroll myself into another course, I would see the timeline for that one too. Oh, and I'm logged in as a group leader, so I don't think I gotta log out and sign back in as myself, the website admin. But if I was enrolled in another course here, it would just show the second course, and that would be the timeline that only pertains to that course. But yeah, I think the Play Nice with LifterLMS social learning definitely does that. Offer social network and forum functionality. That would be like the timeline features here. For forums, BBPress is kind of the de facto forum solution within WordPress, and then beautiful. Just use LifterLMS Skypilot with it.
And I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to share this right here. Adam Silver did a series of forum plugins covered on his podcast, the Kitchen Sink WP. And I will also, if Adam's still on, because Adam seems to come to these lives a lot. It's always good to have his support. But I was just on the WP Tonic podcast this morning, where the Kitchen Sink WP was the first podcast we pimped in a review of podcasts today. So the small world is making a full circle right here this morning. But if you're looking at this right now and you want to take the notes, episodes 420 through 450, it looks like you're going to see a lot of content on different forum plugins and things like that. Right on. And of course, Adam Silver is still on. He says, "Whoop! Thanks." So Adam actually gave me the shortcut introduction to Pippin Williamson, the guy that made Easy Digital Downloads. Turns out lives in my neighborhood. I just moved to Kansas, and this guy owns a brewery right in my town. So Adam gave me the hookup and the introduction there. It was nice. All right. Just trying to tell all the new folks how cool the community is, right? Look at all the cool things we do. We go to breweries.
Absolutely. And then we did have a question come in here in chat. Is it possible to do a free course?
Nope. You got it. Freebies are out. Freebies are out. I'm only here to tell people how to become millionaires. Me and Russell Brunson with the potato gun. That's it.
Absolutely. But if you're not at the stage where you can afford the potato gun, the LifterLMS free core plugin allows you to create courses for free. So you don't even need any products from LifterLMS to create a free course, free membership. You can use basic quiz functionality. You can even do manual payments. If you were to say, like, send money to this PayPal account, you manually approve the order. So you can even do some payment setups in the free core plugin. But free is easy with the free LifterLMS plugin. And there's a lot of features built in there. And for any, I find myself like demoing this like every week, but I think that's the way to do it because we have a lot of new people every week. I'll give a quick tour of the LifterLMS free features. So in the back end of your WordPress website, when you install LifterLMS, you'll get these options here on the left sidebar: LifterLMS settings, courses, memberships, engagements, and orders. These are like the 5 main things that LifterLMS adds to your website. If I click into courses, we can see there's a lot of nested stuff going on here. Under courses, we have the ability to add a course. We can do course categories. We can set difficulties. If we have beginner courses, intermediate, advanced, we can set those difficulties, and then we can assign those difficulties to the course. These are the 3 that on my demo site that have already been created. Just to give some users some information about your course, you could do tags just like you could do categories. Then we have our entire lesson catalog here, where we can see every lesson on the website, no matter what course it's in, and we can even filter by course to see lessons in a certain course. And then there's reviews of your courses if you wanted to collect those. And then also tracks. Course tracks is a lesser used feature, but what it does is allows you to create programs. So if you have like a college program where you need to take 5 courses to get a certificate, you could put all 5 of your courses inside of a course track. And then when all 5 of those courses, when the track is completed, all 5 of the courses, then you could trigger a certificate or trigger an email or trigger whatever engagement you want to. So that's like the course track feature. It's a little bit lesser of a used feature, but it's available in case you're trying to design a program like that. And then LifterLMS has the course edit screen, which is where you'll decide the prices of your course. In this case, it would be a free access plan. If I click edit, give it a second to load. This is where in the WordPress block editor, we can put together kind of our sales page. We can put together our description of our course, what people are going to get out of it. And it shows all of our lessons on this page. I'll get into that here in a second. We have some general course settings, and then this access plan is what I wanted to highlight. For creating a free course, you would go to access plans, add new, and then you would check the box, no payment required. And that's all you need to do. Give it a name, give it a sign up button text, and you're good to go. If I open this in a new tab, we can see the quick start course. It'll say start strong, free, sign me up. We can see that start strong, sign me up. That's where this text is coming from. And then when we're ready to design the lessons and quizzes in our course, we launch the course builder. The LifterLMS course builder is pretty unique. It has this nice graphical interface, and I recommend for new users taking it slow when you're building here in the builder, because there's a lot of features, a lot of icons, and a lot of movement going on this page. So just hover over all these elements and figure out what they do. If you hover over this one, it says add a quiz. This is for the assignment. Does the lesson have content or not? And they light up blue when, so for example, this is a free lesson. So it says it's like, it's got a little blue icon, it's unlocked, and then this is enrolled students only. And so if I click the little settings icon on any of my lessons, it pops out the sidebar where I can change some of the things, like free lesson you can see here as a setting. So I'd recommend touring the course builder a little bit. And there's also a video on the right-hand side that just went away. There it goes. To show how to use the course builder in depth. So if you enter this interface and you're like, I don't know what's going on, check out that video. But this is where you build your sections and your lessons, and each of your lesson pages can be edited And then here's where you can put your PDF downloads, your text content for the lessons, whatever links you want to put. You can embed videos, images, HTML. If you're going to go into the SCORM advanced learning land, you can embed your content here on this page. So that's where your lesson content is stored. But then once you have your course page built, your lessons built out, your theme will, and I'm using LifterLMS Skypilot in this use case, but Astra, Cadence, a bunch of other themes, they'll format this page to look a little bit differently, but generally it looks the same, where you have your content and then your course syllabus, and that is the general makeup of a course in Lifter. And then you have membership functionality too, but this question was about courses, so I'll just leave it at that. Hopefully that gives kind of a good overview for what LifterLMS can do. That's all the free plugin, by the way. Everything I showed there on screen is all in that LifterLMS free core plugin. And then our add-ons on the store, they add advanced functionality like the LifterLMS Stripe gateway allows you to accept payments with Stripe. The LifterLMS WooCommerce gateway allows you to integrate with WooCommerce for payments, like we talked about earlier. LifterLMS Groups allows you to sell your courses into organizations. Social learning is an add-on. So we have all the add-ons to take that functionality I showed on screen, take it to the next level by adding more features to it that would help you fit your business use case.
I was copying more questions into our stream here so that we don't lose track of things. But I was just kind of inspired by Sarah a little bit, right? Because it's like, do you remember when you first started using LifterLMS? What was one of the first things that you saw on the pages when you first started seeing the messaging from Chris and Tom?
You mean like when I first opened the plugin and started building something? Or?
Yeah, it said their goal was to democratize learning.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, never heard that before, because I was always a corporate trainer, right? So I was always like, hey, how do I make a paycheck out of this? And it was just really cool to see that they're like, hey, we want to democratize learning and give everybody the ability. Everyone has a course creator inside of them. Figure out what your course is and get it up. And it's just cool that if you want to pay it forward, it's an awesome tool that doesn't even cost you anything to do it. And then if you decide to leverage and market the tool and sell it, and need payment gateways, well, then you're going to need add-ons. But I really love the messaging there.
Yeah, and democratizing learning, making it like working on top of WordPress, which is open source, having that free plugin available so that like anyone who wants to create a course can use it. And the only cost that would really be there, it just lowers the barrier to entry for people who want to create learning content, try out their business idea, stuff like that. You'd have to pay like $15 a year for a domain name, and you'd have to pay for a basic hosting. We don't usually recommend basic hosting that's like $3 a month, but if you're getting started, you could probably get away with it to make your first few $100s in sales and then afford your hosting package. But paying like $5 a month plus $15 a year would be like the barrier to entry to create courses by using LifterLMS, because you can use that free core plugin, validate your offer, make your first few $100s with your manual payment gateway, and then you're on the road to growth.
You're on the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again.
I feel like you would want to stay off the road for a while, because you just went on like a 5,000 mile journey.
You know what? It did go relatively smooth. I put in the Audible, listen to a couple of books, listen to a couple of podcasts, saw some friends, went by the Grand Canyon, had breakfast in a blizzard. It was just cool stuff. It was cool stuff. And then, of course, time with my daughter. So that was fun. You ready for another question?
I'm ready.
Now, I happen to have some background about this question because I've worked with this customer directly. So it says, tags. I'm so confused, as well she should be. I have seen the back end of this website. Lifter has tags. WordPress has tags. She's using Fluent CRM. Fluent CRM has tags. And so one of the hardest things, and I'll just call her out by name because Donna is a wonderful person. She really is. Donna's fantastic. But Donna's not alone. Like, the problem with all these platforms is they have similar tools and similar functions, but they're not ubiquitous. They don't all do the same thing. It's like categories for courses, categories for blog posts, categories for this and that. And then as a content creator, sometimes you're like, well, I tried to search the category, but nothing came up. And it's like, well, yeah, because you're searching in courses and not posts, or you're searching in posts and not courses. It's the same thing with tags. These they're called tags, but they're in these different platforms, different software bins. They're like little, how would you describe it? Well, you're better at this than I am.
I think I pulled up the definition of tag. So it's a label attached to someone or something for the purpose of identification. So like I think this really breaks it down though, where like it's just a label that's attached to something. And so
Yeah.
your Fluent CRM is going to use labels to attach to your email people and be able to tell them apart. Like Will has the Georgia tag and Kurt has the Kansas tag. And so we're separating them within Fluent CRM. And then LifterLMS has tags related to courses where you can sort your courses by it's like the same thing as a category. It's just a different taxonomy of like you might have bigger categories like leadership training and power sports training, but then your tags might be a little more specific about like 10-minute tactic training, or this is an hour-long seminar. Like you could that's more of a tag that you could apply. So it's just ways to sort your things. And
and before we had groups, I knew some users that used to use tags for like company names and stuff. They would do like, this is a leadership course, and then they would tag it like ABC company, XYZ company, LMNOP company, and then they would be able to sort their, user base or sort things based on those tags. But it works, like tags work good, really good, if you're like exporting a report to a CSV file and then sorting that, in Excel or something like that. To me, anyway, that's how I think of it. I think of it like it's another filter point for me to be able to drill my data down to look at something specific. Now, I have a feeling that Don is thinking about tags in an automation perspective, right? So, and I should say she might even have WP Fusion in there too, and WP Fusion works with tags, and so, it could be something like your CRM says, hey, when this tag is added, and that's the CRM tag, right? When this CRM tag is added, this automation occurs, and then it, enrolls them in a course or unenrolls them from a course. But you might also be in a position to say, well, I really want to tag that event on the LMS side for future reporting purposes. And so maybe you create that tag, but it's not really needed for the automation in that perspective. It's just a forethought of a data point you might need for a later report.
Yeah, and I think thinking about what system is, when you see the word tag populated like by 3 different plugins in the back end of your WordPress website, you're confused about which refers to what. But if you think about which plugin is populating that little area, like LifterLMS, when you're editing a course, I can pull it back up. When I go to my page, I go to Quick Start Course and I edit my course. LifterLMS is going to give us an opportunity to put a tag on the course on this page. And so if we think basically in that simple definition of just ways to organize things, let me see if tags is going to come in. So this is populated from LifterLMS course tag. So you say, okay, so this is referring to LifterLMS's course tag feature. And then if you have WP Fusion, which I don't have installed, that's going to be referring to tags from your Fluent CRM, because WP Fusion integrates with your CRM. So those are the tags that it's going to be referring to. And even though Fluent uses tags, and a CRM email list tool is going to use tags one way, and LifterLMS is going to use the word tag and use it a completely different way. As long as you understand the source of what tag, what plugin is populating the little box you're looking at, then you'll understand what it's trying to do when it says tags at any given area.
Yeah. And I think for folks that are getting kind of lost in the, I'll just ask you, Will, have you ever used tags in LifterLMS for anything yet on a personal project?
No.
I have not either. It's there, and this gets down to one of those, this is like a mind-blowing like thing. Just because it's there doesn't mean you need to use it. Like, just because it's there doesn't mean you need to use it. And I worked in WordPress for a long time before I understood that. I remember the first project I did with LifterLMS. I had the Infinity bundle, and I was like, it came with all this cool stuff. And I was like, install, 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 install. And then I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with all this stuff. All I need to do is put up a course. It was that level of just because it's there doesn't mean you need it, and it's that way with tags. If you are a user, a creator, and you have a website with courses, and you have an integrated CRM, chances are you're looking to automate something with the CRM. So it's the tag in the CRM that's going to control that automation, not the tag in the course.
Yeah. I think I like that mentality of like, if you don't know how to use it, then it probably doesn't matter. Like in the back end, it's like, as long as you learn, Fluent CRM heavily relies on tags, so you're going to want to learn how that works, where you put a tag on your user and then you can email people with a specific tag of like, I want to email, like I've had a lot of customers do this where they tag people based on the state they live in, and then they'll email only people in the Northeast. Like if they're doing a local event in the Northeast, they're only going to email the people in those states in the Northeast. And so that's where the tags of like, I know where my people are located, so I'm going to email only the people with the tags in those states. And that's, or you could say, I set this up for a customer like a few weeks ago, which was, I want to test out my course. I have an idea for a course, but I don't want to go make all this content if people are not interested. So what she did was we set up a contact form. It's basically an opt-in form that says, are you interested in this course topic? It was like a Reiki style course, and it was like a healing thing. So it's like, are you interested in this course name? People fill out their email, they fill out their name and submit it if they're interested. And then she's creating an interest list. So she has a bunch of people tagged that says the tag is interested in the Reiki healing course. And that tag is applied to them in the CRM. So then she can see all the people who are signing up and saying, I'm interested in the course. And if she gets enough people, she'll make the course. And then once she does make the course, she can email those people who said that they were interested. And then because they have the tag, and say, hey, you were interested in the course is live, go ahead and buy it. And so that's a perfect use for tags within a CRM.
Time is money.
Time is money. I think a lot of course creators, we could talk a little bit at a higher level, are afraid, including me, to do that setup where we're like, I'm going to pre-sell a course, or I'm going to start generating an interest list for a course. It's like, we don't want to put it out there and be like, well, what if we don't make it? We don't want to make like an empty promise and be like, I'm thinking about making a course, let me know if you're interested. Like that feels a little bit scary. But what do you think about that, Kurt, where you're just putting out, basically in marketing it's called the cardboard wall, where you have a sales page and you're just generating emails for an interest list? You haven't made the content yet.
Will, that is how I learned how to use AI in a panic. So I did something very similar to that. I had this, brainstorm idea, because I'm that kind of guy. I jump in with both feet and just do something silly. And I was like, hey, yeah, let's pre-sell this course. And so I pre-sold the course and got a couple of people interested in it. And then all of a sudden I was like, hey, don't I have a course that's supposed to launch soon? I was like, oh crap. So between Bard and ChatGPT, they helped me get a minimal viable product up in record time. And then I went back and kind of made some corrections and brought the quality to the course that I really thought that it needed. But I made sure that I launched on time. And that is, I'll tell you what, that is a really great way to motivate yourself if you're someone that's a procrastinator. Make a commitment and hell or high water, you got to make it happen. And I'm all about the pre-sale. I think pre-selling is a really smart way to go. I've pre-sold a couple of books that I've written. I've pre-sold a couple of courses. I've advised customers on some pre-selling, and I have a customer with a big project right now that they were kind of surprised to hear that I was like, hey, you can start enrolling people with a minimal viable product. You don't have to have 6 courses done and a thesis and a TV show before you go live with your website. And she was relieved. She was like, you mean I can start doing something with this right away? And I'm like, yeah, the sooner the better. Let's get started.
Yeah. And I think even if you were to collect money, if you were to do the pre-sale, because that's what I also encourage my client to set up, was as long as you're honest about it up front and say, I'm looking to build this course. You can go ahead and pre-order it now, and you could give yourself a date if you wanted to, by say like the start of March. I'll either build the course or refund your money, depending on if we have enough people sign up for it. So you could just, if you got your 10 signups at $100 each and you're happy with $1,000 to build the course, then you go ahead and build it in March. Or if you only get 2 signups, you only have $200. So you know what, this isn't worth my time. I'm going to go ahead and refund these 2 orders, and that's all good too. As in LifterLMS, it's easy to issue a refund for your customers. You just click into the order, click refund. It refunds their payment back to Stripe or PayPal, however you accepted it, and then you're good to go. Start generating more interest lists and see if people sign up for some other programs.
More money, more money, more money. All right. Did we talk about Stripe payments yet?
I don't believe so.
All right. I don't know. I may have lost that one. So let me put it in here again. And this one kind of took me back a little bit. I've decided to use Stripe payment links. I think that's a third-party plugin, so it's not our integration for accepting course payments because I need to add taxes. But I'm not sure how to automate registration into courses and memberships when the payment is made. Do I need some automator to achieve this? Yes. So I just want to make sure I'm correct. Stripe payment link, that's the one that's it's directly from Stripe, right? It's like you can add a button to your website or something like that. Yeah. That's not integrated to LifterLMS. It's not part of it doesn't integrate into the membership management, the course selling, the automations, or any of that. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess you could hire Codable or someone else to custom develop that for you, or you could get the integration from LifterLMS and just connect the whole thing together.
Yeah, for $120 a year, I'd recommend just going for the LifterLMS Stripe integration. And I mean, one creative setup that you could do is if I go to make this a paid product, and I'm using the WooCommerce extension, let me turn that off. I'll show how you could maybe integrate a Stripe payment link with LifterLMS using the manual gateway. If you're getting started, trying to start on like a low budget. So what we would do is go to integrations. I need to disable my WooCommerce because I'm trying to use the manual gateway. Where is WooCommerce? There it is. Let's turn this off. Save changes. So now when I edit my course, I should have an option to just set a price.
Yeah. Now, the adding the taxes part, if he needs to add taxes, that means he needs like a WooCommerce or a SureCart kind of a setup, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and so price here, if I do $50, one-time payment, save changes. And then if I go to my LifterLMS settings again, LifterLMS settings checkout, let's take a look at the LifterLMS gateways. So I'm going to turn off PayPal and Stripe. We're assuming that like I don't have PayPal and Stripe. I don't want to buy the Lifter Stripe integration. So I just want to use the manual integration for now. So let's disable Stripe. And what we would do is enable the manual gateway, enable manual, and then here's where we would have the Stripe payment link. And then there's the link, and so pay manually via Stripe link below. And then what would happen is if I go to checkout for my Start Strong is now $50. Here we go. So I have the manual option, pay Stripe with the link below. And so I have my name, I have everything filled out. By now. So it says,
bye, Felicia.
Payment instructions, Stripe payment link. So here's the link. I'd insert my link for the Stripe payment link. And then I, as the website owner, I would monitor my Stripe account and I would say, okay, I saw the payment for, this order come through. I saw this person come through. You could even ask them to like email you or something. However you want to do this. You say like, here's the Stripe payment link. Send me an email, will@lifterlms.com when you completed the order. I'll click enroll. So you see how it says pending payment in yellow right there? That's where the student's not yet enrolled in the course, but the order has been created. So if I go on the back end of my WordPress website, I can see my pending payment. And so when I see that Stripe payment transaction come through, I'll just go ahead and click edit, change status to completed. Something. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. That's a different thing. Let's just edit the order. And then we should have status somewhere else.
At the top where it says pending payment.
There we go. Order status. So then we'll say completed because we saw the payment come through in Stripe. Now they're enrolled in the course. And so that's a multi-step process. That's like a kind of a little bit janky compared to like you just put LifterLMS Stripe integration on there from our LifterLMS add-ons section. Automatically they can enter their credit card right there on your website, and they can save the card if they want to, and it just all happens smoothly. But then this is an alternative if you're trying to start with like a low cost solution. It just requires a little bit of manual work on the customer's part and a little bit of manual work on your part, but you can create that setup.
Yeah, I think some of the obstacle with a lot of that comes down to, and I don't even think about it here in America. I think about it for like people overseas. There's folks that have to deal with all kinds of weird tax laws and VATs and stuff like that. And so, I've seen a lot of people go the WooCommerce direction, but of course the instant, obstacle, complaint, wish is that, you didn't have to pay $250 for a subscription add-on with WooCommerce. But there are options outside of WooCommerce's little umbrella. So you can look at some of those. And then, like I said, I'm pretty sure SureCart does recurring payments without a premium add-on. And so that might be able to suit your needs as well.
Yeah, for sure. I love the LifterLMS out of the box setup. But like Kurt said, if you are trying to do taxes, if you are trying to work with a cart feature, if you're trying to integrate with a payment gateway that LifterLMS does not integrate with out of the box, then WooCommerce is probably going to be the way to go to integrate with Lifter.
World Photo Adventure, just want to give you a shout out, says I have stumbled onto this live stream. So I don't know if that is stumbled or like stubbed your toe and fell down. That's like stumbled. It would be like stubbed your toe and fell over the table. But it says you already have LifterLMS. So welcome to the family. You're already part of it. And I don't know if you have a Universe or better, maybe you can jump on to, it says you can't. Look at that. Unfortunately, I can't stay. Have to check how often you do these live streams. This is a great question. We do these every week. So every week we jump on, we answer questions live. We try to help guide people down the pathway to success with the learning management system or any kind of dynamic website. Will and I are both kind of hooked on the WordPress world. So sometimes we answer questions outside of Lifter and talk about some general WordPress stuff too. But anyone that has a bundle package with us, a Universe bundle or an Infinity bundle, is eligible to attend our Office Hours Mastermind call, which is more of a collaborative shared call where people jump in on Zoom on a restricted link so we don't get Zoom bombers and crazy stuff. And we work with people and agencies and people all over the world and help them problem solve and troubleshoot their sites or issues.
For sure, and that's available in the Universe or Infinity bundle with LifterLMS, that once a week Zoom call that me and Kurt do. And sometimes when either me or Kurt are gone, Chris will hop in as well. The CEO of Lifter.
Yeah, and Jason Coleman's jumped on before, which is always a treat for me. I like when Jason makes an appearance.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, now he has to fix it. It was better when it said stumbled. He says, I meant stumbled. I thought it was, he's got the Earth bundle. Look at that.
Earth bundle.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess I'll show a couple pages here on the website kind of to close out the stream. For anyone watching, I'll just tour the LifterLMS pricing page real quick. For anyone who's not currently a LifterLMS customer, I'll pop this up. I got to move my tabs around now. I have a bunch of floating tabs. No.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll answer this quick question. It says, hi guys, sorry I can't stay. Will this be recorded? Loving the platform so far. Well, the good news is you're already watching us from Facebook, and it stays in the stream. It stays in the news feed on Facebook, so you can see the replay right there.
Yeah, and there was the LinkedIn user who said, refunding on pre-sales, you're going to lose out on your 29 cents and 3% per transaction. So you are taking if you were to generate your $1,000 or your $200 in sales, you would lose with like $12. Or what's 3%
I don't
of?
know. You're a better mathematician than I am in that
There's
one. I think you're only
it'd be $6 plus 2 times 30 cents, right? So that's
well worth the cost of
$7.
discovery.
Yeah, yeah. So you'd lose out, but if you did like 1,000, 6% of or 3% of that was that like $30 plus your 30
$30.
cents per thing. So it's a low risk, but yeah, you are losing out on those fees for sure. If you were to refund on your pre-sales.
It says it's Adam. Maybe it's Adam. Maybe it's Adam Silver.
I think so.
I don't know. But yeah, well worth the cost of discovery. I would rather pay Stripe $30 to find out that my plan was a flop than to spend 300 hours making it and then find out it's a flop.
Exactly, yeah. And then pulling up LifterLMS pricing for anyone who's not currently a LifterLMS customer. Let me close this up. I don't want to talk. We're talking now. The free core plugin, like we've talked about a lot on this call, is available to create free courses with a lot of good features to it. And then the Earth Bundle, which is what World Photo Adventure mentioned, that they're on this package. This gives you one active site with LifterLMS, and then it gives you the e-commerce gateways and the core plugin and some access to our advanced tech support. And then you have the Universe Bundle and Infinity Bundle, which contain more of those other add-ons we've been talking about. We've been talking about the Sky Pilot theme that comes in the Universe Bundle, plus you get 5 sites instead of 1 for these licenses. But just from an add-on perspective, you get the same e-commerce add-ons that you get over here. Email marketing stuff where you can integrate with MailChimp ConvertKit, forms integrations if you want to require people to complete a Gravity form in order to complete a lesson. This is the level you unlock that kind of functionality. And then the mastermind group we've been talking about. And then the Infinity Bundle, unlimited websites, a support for 3 users, which means you can get yourself will have access to submit text tickets, but then you can also get your virtual assistants, tech support team members. You can get them on lifterlms.com to submit tech support tickets as well. And then everything from the other bundles plus 10 advanced add-ons. And those advanced add-ons would be the ones we talked about, like LifterLMS groups. Those would be LifterLMS social learning. And if you scroll down further on the page, there's actually like a breakdown of the bundles with little check marks about which add-ons are included. But you can see the Infinity Bundle has like all of the stuff that we offer within it on unlimited websites. So that's just a quick breakdown of the LifterLMS pricing. And then this is kind of a cool blog post. This image was probably generated using AI from, I would assume, from Canva. But this is a good article I just wanted to highlight that we've been recycling a little bit in the LifterLMS community, because LifterLMS, we've been producing content for years of content, and some of that content is about tech products that's a little bit temporary, but some of them are long-term strategy style articles, and this one is still a great article to check out about LMS email challenges, of like what kind of challenges can you run into when you have like your email CRM, your Fluent CRM, your MailChimp, whatever you're doing, plus password resets, plus an SMTP solution. So this is a great way to understand CRMs versus SMTP and what kind of different types of email would be associated with your website. Like lost passwords are different from email marketing and all this kind of stuff. So all LMS websites are going to have email. So I just wanted to promote that article about email and LMS.
Well, Will, before we close out, how, if someone wanted to follow you off the Lifter channel, where's the best place to find you?
That's a great question. I guess just wpcourseguide.com is my main outlet, or just Google Magic Will Middleton and you'll find me anywhere.
Will Middleton. And I just wanted to point out that, you know, your content on YouTube is pretty superior. So if you look up WP Course Guide or Will Middleton on YouTube, you'll be able to find them there and gain some wisdom. And then for me, I'm the only Kurt Von Onen on LinkedIn, so it makes it easy to find me on LinkedIn. And that's that. I'm there almost every day. I think that's it. Now, what do you want to do? You want to push? You want me to push the magic button and turn this thing off?
Yeah, I'll do the clean. It's not called clean streaks.
There we go, folks. We will see you next week. Hold on, that's not it. Hold on, do it this way, folks. We will see you next week.